Welcome to Two Steps Back with Nicole and Kathleen. It's a podcast.
Hey everybody! My face is in disbelief because we are taping episode 5. We are halfway through the first season. Char! Wala namang ganon. I was gonna say, wala akong alam dyan. Ilang episodes ba per season?
As many as we say they are.
Yeah. Pero today we are going to be answering one of the toughest because it's the most intangible question that is often asked about us.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of the most intangible and I think a little bit difficult to define, but also something I've been asked countless times by you guys, either in the form of when I do Q&A on social media or even in person, and that is the question of what and how do you improve one's self-confidence?
Or how can you be confident?
Yeah.
So I cannot even put it in a line.
Oh, well, maybe we can start this way. When you were younger, what did you think confidence was?
Being fearless.
So no fear, no barriers, or just having bravery? Or
Na parang for me, kasi di ba usually nakikita natin confidence sa beauty queens, artistas, ganon. So we connect it to how they project themselves, beauty, ganon. Pero as I was ngayon, like nakikita ko the people, there are a lot of people who are beautiful but do not realize they are or do not take confidence in that. So they kind of shrink themselves. And there are people who are not really conventionally pretty pero they feel so good about themselves na nahahawa ako.
I think it's interesting kasi parang what you're describing is confidence looking like a certain thing or a certain persona. But then as you get older and as we got older, I feel like the definition of what confidence looks like almost broke. Because I would say that confidence to me is energy that someone puts out. Because like you said, it could be someone looks any type of way. Maybe not what you perceive as like, yeah, if I look that way, I would be confident. But they could look any way, shape, or form. And yet their energy that they're able to carry themselves with, that to me translates confidence.
Kaya I love watching drag queens sa mga shows nila. Kasi dun, I get reminded na, kasi pagka tayo girls, para I have to look this, that, para I'll be confident. Pero sila para I'll intentionally transform myself into my fantasy. And then, I won't even fit a box or a template. I am gonna be your fantasy from now on. For me, I'm like, yeah, I've been making so many excuses for myself to not live out a fantasy na ang laki pa ng potential doon. Diba?
Let's all be Delulu with our fantasies together.
That's true.
The thing with confidence that I found though, like when I grew up, I always thought that, confidence was clear, beautiful skin, being able to navigate a room or talk to anyone that you wanted to without any kaba or nervousness, and just the general feeling of what I thought it looked like to have your life together. But then when I got older, I realized that I could be really confident in one thing, but in another, not so confident. So it's not like confidence is like an all-over kind of thing that you feel over all areas of your life. You could feel super confident at work and not so much at home, or right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that rings so true. Lalo yung iba yung persona mo at work and at home. And yung positioning mo rin.
Diba? Or like maybe you're confident with your friends, but then once you go to your meetings at work, nag-iba din. So it's really interesting for us to explore, like, how did we improve on confidence, maybe in different areas of our life? What things would hit at our confidence, maybe? And what things would help us build up our confidence?
Yeah. So this will be a navigating through storytelling kind of episode, I guess. Because there are a lot of moments in our lives, diba, na felt really small. We felt really small. Ako, I did.
Let's start at
Especially-
in school, because I feel like
Oh, okay.
that's when the building blocks of confidence are kind of instilled in us. Like you'll meet people that are still affected by their school experiences, even as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of that can revolve around feeling good about yourself, confident in yourself, the way that you present yourself. So when you were in school, say like high school, college, did you feel confident at school in yourself?
Not at all, because I wasn't a cool girl. Yeah. Tapos, I think I just threw myself into a lot of experiences, like joined the debate team,
Nice.
join some sports. Tapos you find out you get to be good at other stuff pala. So yun yung nakaka-boost ng confidence. And I think that's a proactive way of gaining confidence. It's opening yourself up to failure, to experiences. So yeah, I think that helped a lot.
That's great that you were able to put yourselves in those kind of untraversed situations, even though you felt that you didn't have the confidence. Because sometimes lack of confidence to people can look like, oh no, I don't want to try that. I want to stay in my little safe zone. I don't want to maybe look silly or be in front of my classmates and fail.
Then you end up not really doing anything.
Yes, that's true. I can
Ikaw?
relate to that as well. In school, I didn't feel the most confident because I was really tall and I had bad skin and I just wanted to blend in.
We want a photo of Catriona with bad skin. Can you please restore fairness to the world?
Hinapin ko sa hard drive ko para ilagay na natin sa editing para you believe me. But yeah, so I think I had a good sense of confidence instilled by my parents because they were the type of parents that would build me up a lot. Like, I'm really grateful that I grew up in an environment where they're like, no, try that. I think you'll be great at it. Like, yeah, you could do that. You're capable of that. And so hearing that messaging really, I think, instilled like a sense of, yeah, I can. I want to try instead of approaching things fearfully. But in school, like I was always shy to talk to new people. I didn't have confidence to like put myself out there. I really wanted to blend in because I already stood out because of my height and I didn't like it. And then after school, I think I really carried that wanting to like kind of be in the background, but also balancing it. I ended up in an industry which is all about kind of stepping out of that and like modeling and being on stage and being in front of the camera and being in a set like the center of attention. So it was a weird dynamic to navigate at first.
But because of a need, you had to put yourself
Yes.
in that situation.
Yeah, so you're kind of presented with a choice, no? Like you can either, okay, the basis is I don't feel that comfortable putting myself out there, but I'm either gonna choose to parang tiis ganda, like I'm gonna, just push myself and see how I go, or I'm gonna avoid it altogether. And so I think the choice, just like as you touched on, like trying new things, putting yourself out there, enriching yourself in experience, you have the choice to either try or to just not.
Yeah. Actually, when you shared that bit about your parents kanina, I remember my dad, nung first year high school ako, na intramurals for basketball, he coached our team.
Really?
And of course, we were the suckiest team because
Ang
we were
hirap.
first year, di ba? And then yung game namin na yun, we were going up against the fourth year women's basketball team,
Wow.
who were really good. And then I will never forget what my dad told me. Sabi niya, there's nowhere but up. So just enjoy the game because you have nothing to lose. Alam na natin na sila yung mananalo, sila yung okay, pero embrace it. Di ba? Just embrace it because you can't fall further down. So that gave me so much courage.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
No, impactful no yung mga voices that speak to you when you're at that age. Because it becomes like the groundwork for which your personality is built and also your self-belief.
Yeah.
And also how you see certain situations. Because you could have walked into that same game feeling like, what's the point? We're gonna lose.
Or
no
pikon.
matter.
Pikon kasi ako eh. Tapos competitive pa ako. Pikon talaga ako, guys. Mga away ako sa court pagka ano.
Oh my gosh. Little how old? 11?
Sis, 13? Since you saw me in pickleball.
Yeah, that's true.
Kung may personalan na away, ako, yeah.
Siya. May mga body shots pa to.
O kung binabody shot ako ng mga tao sa pickleball, ay,
Magka-grudge na siya.
bombastic side eye tayo. Sabihin ko, ano ulit pangalan mo?
Noted.
Okay. Ganon!
Nakalista na siya.
Nakalista ka
Kalma.
na sa burn book. O nga pala. Okay, wala tayo doon. Anyway, pikon akong tao, okay? So, ever since noon, whenever I would try new things in adulthood, I would be reminded of what my dad told me. Na it's okay to start from nothing. So if you're someone right now who's never heard those words na said to you, and the beauty pa dun is my dad said it in such a way na it's nothing. It's such a normal thing. Don't worry about that. So parang it gives you that confidence na, oh nga no, why am I stressing about this? Ganon. It's the feels.
And the thing that connects to as well is that in having that experience, I feel like experience and what is the word I'm looking for? Preparation. So experience and preparation for something that is making you feel like you're lacking confidence is one of the best ways to enter into whatever that is and give it your best shot. If you're feeling unconfident, usually in my world, the things that I tackle, I feel unconfident if I feel unprepared and I feel inexperienced. Because I feel like I'm not going to do a good job. I feel like I might flounder. I feel like I might not know what to say. I won't know how to perform as well as I know that I could. And that starts to make me start to self-doubt. And that's when the feelings of like, oh, you're not deserving of this opportunity, or you're not going to do good here. And that's when the lack of confidence really starts to materialize in my mindset. So that being said, if you do have the opportunity, say that you're not confident in public speaking, which is a big one for a lot of people, which I feel that we can speak a lot into because we're both quite public speakers. I would say that study your topic, practice with a friend, with your dogs, I don't know. Whatever your comfortability level is, try and push past that just a little bit and gain experience. And then once you are able to do that opportunity, you'll find that you'll have, I've prepared for this. There's a little bit of confidence that comes with that.
So your advice is to like really embrace that inexperience and be ready to learn.
Yes.
By putting yourself in that situation, even if you do not feel 100% there.
Because I think it's easy for us to look at people that we admire. Like, I'm sure, for example, there might be people in our audience who are looking up to you that are like, Nicole's such an eloquent speaker. When she goes up on stage, she doesn't look nervous. She doesn't trip over her words. She seems to always know what to say. But the thing is, Nicole, right, you started somewhere, no?
Oh.
Like, I'm sure that you can recall times that you had to speak in front of a group of people and parang maybe you were lost for words when you're still starting out. So everyone
and hindi
starts.
makapag-adlib.
Yeah.
Nervyos ka pa. Tapos naalala ko pa yung times na yung production would be like, connect to the audience. And as a host, parang, shucks, I'm not doing my job. So, pero, no, I have to learn. And that time is now, because I'm doing the job now. Kasi the tendency sometimes is kung ganun. Hindi ako confident is to get into this situation. Alis ka eh. Parang, out ako dyan. Siya na lang! Ganon. Pero wag bato mo sarili mo sa situation talaga. Kung mapahiya ka, let it haunt you. I swear! So many situations haunt me, keep me up at night.
That's true.
Napapractice ko siya mentally. Tapos the next time,
it won't happen
I'm so
again.
prepared and I'm so gigil to do it again. I'm so gigil to rewrite the stars.
Rewrite the stars.
On cue. Yeah, to change the narrative. Speaking of changing narratives,
Ayan.
I feel like the best way kasi to tell you guys kung paano nagbi-build ng confidence is to share from our own experience also, starting from our experiences where we were insecure.
Yeah, because I feel like lack of confidence and insecurity are hand in hand.
We're holding hands now for those on Spotify. Kaya may dramatic pause. Okay. So I think the best, kasi we were in pageantry. I feel like yun yung pinaka na-open ko sarili ko to attacks from
Yeah.
the outside forces that a normal private person would
Wouldn't
not have to
experience.
go through unless you're a controversial private person. Like, people are just jealous of you. You make stories about you. May mga ganun
Yeah.
May mga ganun.
Oo.
Lapitin sa sa chismis, sa bashing. Pero
Yes.
private person siya. Pero
Oo.
siguro, may controversial siya. Umami.
Flair.
Umami. Umami. What's an umami? Yeah, flavor.
Gutom kasi. So, you opened yourself up on the platform of pageantry to a lot of
And that's when I
online
realized,
commentary.
yeah, I went into pageantry feeling confident about myself. I really knew who I was. I had a strong set of values. Pero online comments, oh my gosh, I realized ang dami ko palang imperfections.
It's so true. Unfortunately, like I
Yeah.
wish pageantry wouldn't be associated with that type of thing, but it really acts in a lot of ways like a magnifying glass where strangers, people that you've never met, maybe will never meet, will take it upon themselves to point out every single thing they don't like about you or perceive to be flaws. The shape of your butt, the look of your teeth, the color of your hair,
Did
the
you say
way
butt online?
butt.
Wow.
Or like the way that you dress, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you laugh, like literally anything and everything under the sun pertaining to you. And I even say it sometimes myself, like, you know what, it comes with being online, you have a thick skin, but even though you have a thick skin and you know yourself, like things really get to you. And it was actually Nicole that pointed out that it was a good point that was brought up, I think episode 1 or 2, that when I would read a comment and it affects me, it's because it's mirroring some kind of insecurity that I have and that hasn't been dealt with or completely solved yet within me. So pivoting off of that, can you maybe in your experience in pageantry or work, etc., or even in hosting, wow, link a comment that you received that hit a little bit hard because it kind of pushed on an insecurity that you have, and like from that insecurity, what did you do or are continuously doing to work on building up your confidence in that area?
Ito na lang. Kasi di ba usually yung perspective ng mga tao, yung mga opinion nila is, public figure ka, dapat ready ka na sa mga makukuha mong criticisms. You're not made for the industry if hindi mo matanggap yun. I'm there. I was ready. Tapos, ito, bibigyan ko na lang kayo ng example ng hindi outright criticism. Tapos, I took it well. So well. Okay, ito yung yung criticism sa akin was, in my batch, 2016, Binibini, I'm not that pretty. I'm not the prettiest face. I may even be considered as not pretty at all, but I'm very, very smart. Ako, hindi ako affected sa not pretty. Kasi I didn't really anchor myself on being pretty.
Okay.
And I don't feel like, for the longest time, I didn't feel pretty either. Pero not to the point naman na parang I'm not beautiful. I would look at the mirror and I'm like, I'm pretty! Pero alam ko parang an acquired taste ako. Ganon.
Okay.
I'm an acquired taste na beauty. Hindi ako yung commercial beauty, model beauty. Hindi ganon.
Yung manang category. Okay.
Oo. So, for the longest time, I took pride in that comment. And I was comfortable with it. Na, yeah, I anchor myself on being smart. And that's something not everyone can say. And be praised for. So, I'm very proud of that. So, kung it's a criticism, diba? Sounds harmless-ish, not as bad as the usual criticisms. Pero, the effect on me as a person, I only realized nung pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Oo.
So
Kasi,
it's 4 years later.
oo.
2016 to
4 or 5
2020.
years. Na-realize ko, parang I was, syempre nung pandemic, parang you go through transformations. Like, you suddenly think about aspects in your life na hindi mo natatakle. Suddenly, you have time. Tapos, nung time na yun, parang Bonita, my GGSS friend, parang, she's an inspiration for self-confidence and beauty si Bonita. Tapos, I don't know, parang we were just communicating a lot that time. Tapos, parang, namomotivate ako magpaganda. As in, yung mag-self-care lang na...
Yeah, put more effort into yourself. Ganun?
Oo. Tapos dun ko lang na realize, as in, it was so clear yung moment na yun na, wait lang, bakit ko linimit sarili ko for the longest time na I'm smart and that's okay. I'm the smart one and that's okay.
Naging limitation pala siya.
Oo. Because I could be both smart and pretty.
And you are smart and
Guys,
pretty.
kung nakita nyo ko walang makeup talaga,
Maganda talaga ng sisi ko, wag kayo.
i-guess ko na lang boyfriend ko kasi
Testimony 1.
Sarah sabihin, ang ganda mo talaga kung wala kang makeup. Sabihin ko, boyfriend privileges yan lang. Ganun. Hindi, pero pandemic ko lang na-realize na maganda pala ako.
Grabe talaga.
Promises. Yung unabashedly na, alam mo maganda ako. Tapos na-realize ko all those years, shrink ko sarili ko or linimit ko sarili ko. Kasi I was comfortable with being smart.
But what did the journey of like having that realization look like? Like, of course, it wasn't just like you deciding, ay, maganda naman ako. Like, did you have to affirm yourself of certain things, or was it in putting time to feel beautiful, like either through like making
Hindi,
effort or
click
anything?
talaga yun for
As in
me.
click? Okay.
Click talaga. Kasi parang in that moment, I allowed myself to think of myself in that way. Yung, I allowed myself. I gave myself that permission. And then now, I really feel beautiful. Huwag ka umiyak, sis. Parang natiteary-eyed siya. Charot.
No, na-touch lang ako because like, imagine just how many people are unconsciously limiting themselves. Like, what if it's never pointed out by a friend or they don't have that realization? Like, how many people may be listening or watching this na parang my mindset or thing that self-perception that they've really held on to as truth that isn't pala. So maybe it's a good time as ever, and then now to like do a little bit of like intrinsic thinking and be like, let me think about myself. It's not a selfish thing to do.
Yeah, especially something as small as kung kinompliment ka and then it's in our culture to not accept the compliment.
Yes. Or to just throw another back because you think it's just an exchange.
Oo. Tapos ako ngayon ko sinasabi, ang ganda mo ngayon. Ako talagang ina-accept ko siya. Na parang thank you, in my feelings, parang thank you for acknowledging my effort din na I'm doing this new thing, ganon. So, I
And
feel
it's
like,
not vain.
It's not vain.
It's like you're investing into yourself in another way.
Pero not even that eh. Kasi parang kunwari kung before, hindi ko iniisip na maganda ako, hindi ko ipapresent sarili ko as maganda. Yung self-presentation mo.
Yeah. It's in the way that you carry yourself or the way that you put effort into yourself. Ganun?
Oo. Even in, parang siguro dati ko nag-public appearance ako, alam kong they got me because I'm smart. Ganon. Pero now, feeling ko, I can give you the full package.
I can give you the fantasy.
Yeah, I'll be your new fantasy. I'm your fantasy. I'm your drag queen's favorite drag queen. Your favorite drag queen's
Drag queen.
Yeah, ganon. Go chaperone. So yeah, yung ganon lang. Parang it clicked. It opened up so much more for me because I accepted and embraced that fact. It's so liberating, guys. So yun yung journey of of confidence. Kasi it's empowering myself, allowing myself.
And I think it's interesting to note that it wasn't external validation that made it happen. Like, I mean, like that realization. It was the work that you did in yourself. Because I feel like on the topic of confidence, people are always looking, or usually naman, for external validation from certain people, or maybe from social media, the amount of likes or comments that you get, the amount of followers that you have, kung trending ka, or whatever. But there's so much value in the internal work that you can do, because everything else fluctuates, if not that.
Yeah. Ikaw ba, sis, yung may comment ba na hit hard sa'yo?
Oh my
Because
God,
you're
ang
so
dami.
strong and resilient. So we're like...
I mean, I think I come across as a strong girl because usually I silently fight my battles, like we touched on a couple episodes ago that you guys really related to. Thanks for that. But comments that really affected me for a really long while were the fat shaming comments that I got. And one, because I just didn't expect to get them. Because I don't think my weight has fluctuated that much as a young adult. Like maybe just like 3 kilograms up and down. And I've never changed dress sizes. And yet joining Binibini, like just an unflattering angle. And my body does have few unflattering angles because of my scoliosis. That on one side, I'll look way thinner than the other. But I guess I just was shocked at not the confidence, but I was just shocked at the way that people felt comfortable enough to comment on a woman's body.
Yeah.
Because when you don't experience it personally, like it doesn't really hit hard just how effective or how much that it can affect a person. But being on the receiving end of so many, and I would get it in different languages, guys. Like it wasn't even in English, okay? Like I would get it in Spanish, I would get it in Thai, I would get it in all these random languages, Indonesian. And
this is in no way, this is not generalizing it. It's just hindi na, kasi isipin nila like per fan group na ko call out.
No naman.
The reality of what she has received in general.
Yeah, so it was just kind of shocking because I didn't know what to do with that first because I had never had to tackle that before. And there was a time that I started becoming self-critical. Like when I would see myself in the mirror wearing a certain outfit, I would start to feel like, do I look big in this?
And before you got those comments, you never really thought
I
of
never
it.
thought of it that way.
No,
As in. And so it started to really, I'll admit, it really started to affect me for a time. And I'm very thankful that it didn't develop further. But I did lose my confidence in the way that my body looked for a good amount of time. And that was really hard because at that very same time, I was even more being not criticized, but I was being put even into a more public platform where people would openly criticize me or comment on me. And it was just so hard to block it out. Like sometimes even the comment, if I'd be out and about in real life and someone would be like, oh my God, ang payat mo pala in person.
Hindi kasi yung TV niyo widescreen eh. Alangan. Palapad yung TV eh.
Totoo naman.
Malaki lang TV niyo, yaman niyo.
65-inch. And that would really affect me. But before, like, I'd be like, okay. But it started to really hit a sore spot for me. And I think it was such a long journey for me because it continued for more than a year. I would have to say it sometimes even now, if I see a comment, it still prods at a soft spot for me. Because I've never wanted my value to be dictated by my body. And it just bothered me so much that people would see the whole of me. Well, not the social media is the whole of you. But they would see me and know that I'm a person behind a screen, hopefully. Hindi ako Android, guys.
AI push.
And think the most valuable use of their time was to comment on my body. Because I would never comment on someone else's body. I think it's absurd.
Yeah.
And in an industry that I've pushed so much, like, I really believe pageantry is not just a justified modeling competition. I think, Nicole, you're the same as me in this value. Like, we are more than something pretty to look at. Yes, we wear sparkly gowns and do our makeup, but we come there with our experiences and wanting to use the platform for something. And I think there's so much value in that. So I think to be reduced to a perception of a body type just really rubs me the wrong way. The way that I would say that I built my confidence from that is just realigning myself with the value of I am not just my body. And my body may not fit into what is deemed societally sexy. I'm not an hourglass, and I'm not a stick figure. I'm not like, my arm will never be smaller than my neck. And my thighs will still be bigger than my calves, but like, that's not to shame people who
are thin,
have those proportions, but It's just that I needed to see the value in myself as a character, as a person, as a personality, as of my experiences and how I'm able to affect different people and be a daughter and be a friend and be a family member and not just like, I'm just an image here to please you. So it kind of was taking my power back. It was like, no, I'm not going to let you define my worth as a person. And so that's what it felt like to me. It's like, nope, I'm taking my power back in who I am as a person. And that helped me build my confidence back up in that area. But definitely a journey still. I don't think confidence is a destination that you arrive in whatever category or space that is. It's really a journey. And sometimes you will take a few steps back. Or maybe you might fall leaps back. 2 steps back. You might feel like you've gone back how many different tumbles, but as long as at the end of the day you still have the intention of moving forward, I think that's what's important.
When you take 2 steps back, you make sure you bounce back. Like a basketball.
Can I have that on a t-shirt?
Like a pickleball.
Like a pickleball.
I mean, like, I would imagine, like, one day, like, if my daughter would be looking online and then look up to their favorite public figure. Like maybe it's an athlete, for example. The Olympics are ongoing. So it's the first thing in my head. And then they see comments under this athlete's photo like, oh my gosh, your body looks like that. You have cellulite. Why are you so fat? And I'm like, and then to put myself in the position of a younger girl seeing that, like, how would it make me feel?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's just so many.
You start being hyper aware of the flaws that can be found.
Yeah, and it's like diminishing such a high achieving woman who's doing incredible things and reducing her to like, oh, she's not fitting into this mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ridiculous thing is there are also people who are so in the standard already but are still not confident.
Yeah.
Diba? Because of these myriad of comments that you're just exposed to.
Yeah. It's really just saying it's not okay to comment on other people's bodies. I don't feel like it is. I don't care. It can't be justified that, yes, we do swimsuit competitions. It still doesn't make it okay. You know what I mean? Because some people will be like, well, you go out there in a 2-piece, so what do you expect? Like, no. It's still not okay.
But it's more telling about, it says more about the person who
posted
the comment, diba, than the person who's being commented on. So, oh my God, my phone talaga.
May mumu talaga dito na ayaw na phone mo.
Oo. What else? What else are the other bad comments that we've received?
Ikaw, do you have another one?
Oh, up until now, my teeth.
Na people will comment that they don't like your teeth?
Na parang, is it new teeth? Is it parang, there's something wrong with my teeth. But thanks to pageantry, I got my smile sponsored by Beyond Dental. Thank you. Pero kasi, I feel like up until now, I'm not, even if I have nice teeth, I'm not used to smiling or using them because I grew up with really bad teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, we were having this conversation.
So I grew up with teeth na patong, ganon.
Yeah.
Overcrowding. And my teeth really are big. And then, parang hindi pa aligned yung jaw ko. My dentist had to pull this out. So I have more like that. Para,
for your alignment
my
of the bite.
So it's just my greatest insecurity then. So, hindi proportions of face ko. My teeth are naturally big. So, itong veneers ko, pinaliit na to. Ito yung smaller size na. So, mas proportion na siya. Pero, like, throughout pageantry, there will be comments na mukha siyang kabayo.
Pa rin? Until now?
Now, sometimes, meron. Like, mukhang kabayo, horse, ganon.
Grabe naman.
And it's so, wow. Like, yeah. So, parang yun yung siguro insecurity ko since I was a kid. I remember then, before, kasi magbabantay ako ng shop ng lola ko. Told you this story before.
Yeah.
Tapos may 2 guys who were gonna approach. Na, by the way, chiririt kayo. Hindi ko kayo entertain, no?
Just so you know.
Oo. Sa market yun nun.
Talaga, I love it.
Pero cheeky talaga kayo. Pero they made me feel so bad. Kasi siguro they were gonna approach me. Tapos nakita nila, I didn't have braces pa nun eh.
Okay.
Tapos nakita nila, tapos the guy was like, nag-back out. He was backing out. Kasi parang, tapos pinoint out niya sa friend niya na parang my tooth.
Who are you?
Ito nga pala si Naya
Yeah,
ngayon.
true.
But also,
True.
ew.
I love
These
it.
guys!
Ew.
They think they're you're a catch!
Oh my God,
Hindi, pero yeah, that was my first,
But as when you're young, that must have been like so...
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Sis. Yeah.
That's worse than a comment online. For sure.
So, biggest insecurity ko talaga siya. Tapos, I feel like, now, I'm getting used to smiling better.
So, journey pa rin siya.
Journey pa rin siya. Parang there will be angles then where kasi hindi pantay face ko eh. So, there will be angles when my smile is not at its best. So, mas left ako. Yung mga ganong stuff. So,
pero, well, ako naman without a critical eye, like, I think, ang hirap din, like, once, that's the hard part with insecurities. Like, once something is pointed out on you, your focus becomes so centered on that thing that it's hard to not notice anymore. Like, suddenly your consciousness, you're like, ay, ganun palang the shape of my face. I remember, this is before I entered a pageant, I was told that I should get my nose done.
Peg mo. Nose nga yung peg mo ngayon. Yung peg ng mga tao.
Point, diba? Na parang this person told me, and this is someone that I trusted their parang, what's this? Their insights to pageantry because they'd, worked with so many of our queens, etc.
Oh my God, yes.
And they said, you need to, before you join, you need to get your nose done. It's not nice. You have this bump thing. And then, buti na lang, I didn't take that person's word to heart because the thing is, I feel like if we all had straight pointed noses, parang kamukha lang kami. And I really love my nose. It reminds me of my dad. I feel like we have the exact same nose. But that's just one of the things when you're young and you're vulnerable and then you have people who you trust the opinion of or you value the opinion of.
And are treated as experts.
Yes.
In the field.
And they start to point out things on you. You really put weight to what they say. And that's really difficult to navigate because, I mean, in that situation naman, parang naka-align yung opinion nila to my chances of winning. So it's not just for me to be beautiful, but for me to get to a place where I can...
So, kailangan pumasok ka muna sa beauty standard before you... Pero ngayon, tignan mo, kung pinagawa niya yun, siya kaya yung mga pig ngayon na nagpapagawa. Tawag dyan, Tinkerbell nose.
Ay, talaga?
Oo.
Kala ko
Tama ba?
button.
Sila Jelly nagsabi sa akin eh. Pero Tinkerbell. Tapos sinalagyan pa nga ngayon ng mga tao
Yeah, the
itang
bump.
guhit dito.
Yes.
Yung guhit na contour dito.
Yes.
Ito yun eh! Ito yun oh. Akala nga ng lola ko nagpagawa ka ng ilong eh.
Talaga?
Oo, kasi may extra ganon.
Yung funny na kwento nung baby pa ako, naging cross-eyed ako kasi wala akong bridge ng nose for the first couple of months of my life. Kasi mukhang Who. From Doctor Who, mukhang Who ako. Yung sa Grinch.
Ay, oo.
Ganon yung lang, tapos wala siyang bridge. Ganon
Yung
pa ako.
nakaganon, slight.
Yeah, no, as in, wala akong bridge when I was a baby. Parang ito lang. So, ganon yung eyes ko. My mom thought I was gonna be duling. Duling ba ang tamang term?
Oo.
Banlag si Tio. Duling yung
Tio.
other way. Pero nung nag-develop yung bridge ko, parang my eyes adjusted. But yeah, so like it's just those things when insecurities are pointed out to you, maybe you didn't even already have them. So ang hirap din i-navigate. Kailangan may strong sense of self, which can also be hard when you're young.
Yeah. So I think the lesson here then is, another step towards confidence is deciding
For yourself.
for yourself.
Yes.
It's a decision na ikaw ginawa mo, I'm happy with my nose. Ako naman, I think it's a decision to do something about it.
Yes. I think it's better to take 2 steps back and think, was I happy with myself before this person said something? If yes, then I'll really think critically if I'm gonna act on it. If no, maybe I'll do something, but I'll decide what that is. No? Parang it should be you in the driver's seat at the end of the day. Jumping off of that, another comment that I've received that really touched an insecurity for me was that I'm not a supportive person.
Wow, that's a personal talk.
Yeah. Because usually, and this is the realm of pageantries usually, dahil hindi ako sobrang publicly supportive in like commenting and posting, etc. Kasi instead, I usually go through DMs or I see people in person. Because that for me is more meaningful to me. Yung parang I'm gonna go out of my way to make time, or we're gonna write in private because it doesn't feel performative. But I've had so many people be like, oh my gosh, Kat's not a supportive queen. She doesn't support our candidates. And then the next step from that really like grinds my gears is parang ginagamit lang niya ng Filipino people for the support ng time niya. Pero when it comes to another girl's turn, hindi siya supportive. Isn't talaga... it touches a soft spot because like I speak
math is
so
not mathing. Wait.
Yun nga eh. I do so many projects to elevate Filipino businesses, Filipino people in terms of advocacy. Like that's intentional effort that I continue to do until now. And then for these people to go, just because I didn't like this noisy public show of support, even though nag-support naman ako, but in a quiet way, tapos to draw that conclusion talagang. But then how I build my confidence from that is just to say, I know what I do behind closed doors. And I don't want to act performative to prove to other people. That should never be my motivation as to why I do things. It should come from a personal place of my intention of I'm going to reach out in my own way, in a way that's meaningful to me, rather than, because these people say I should do it like this, I'm going to do it like this.
Tsaka nakaka-pressure din yun as a public figure na should I publicly post na lang din? Ganun. If it's not in your nature naman. Actually, it's not naman an argument of, it's not who I am. It's more of, there's more meaning in my action.
Yes.
If I do this, that's how you translate it.
Yes. Do you have any other comments that you want to bring up that highlight certain things or...
Ano pa ba yung sa mga confidence, ko? Well, yung harsh comments pa na na-receive ko is, yung mukha daw akong bakla, mukha akong trans.
Grabe naman.
Ganon. But can I just say, ang gaganda kaya ng mga bakla tsaka trans. Baka ako pa nga yung tanggalin nila sa group chart. Totoo! Nakanood na ba kayo ng Miss Gay pageant? Ng I don't wanna say the brand na, pero nanonood ako nun.
Ang ganda.
Yung
Diyos, sa levels na sila eh.
Yung skin nila mas bright pa sa future. I was like, wow. Pero yeah, yung ganong comments lang na medyo
Because you know it's said with the intention to be negative.
Oo.
Yeah.
So, yun yung mga nag-limit din sa akin before. Pero at the same time, yun nga ngayon, like you said, na I decided na this won't mean anything to me. This won't affect me as much. Like, I can make a laughing matter out of it na lang. Na, yeah, this is kind of ridiculous na. And on the bright side, they're prettier than me. So, yeah, confidence with humor din.
Oo.
Diba? To take things lightly. Hindi mo na dinadamdam din.
Oo. And it's good to process with a friend.
Yeah.
Kasi minsan, if you can't call yourself out on taking something too serious, your friends can.
Yeah. Na parang minsan, best drama mo na. Best OA ka na dyan. Yung gano'n na parang, nga no, untog ko lang din sarili ko, gano'n.
Oh, it's really true. Having outside voices really help point things out that maybe you've subscribed to a narrative that's particularly negative or self-defeating. Parang it could really help snap you out of it.
Yeah. Friends, supportive friends and family, support system talaga. It can come in the form of like, yung harsh call-outs nila. Diba? Or yung very warm and sweet ones na parang, don't you realize you're the prettiest girl in the world? Ganon. Pero meron din tayong friends na parang si Jelly Eugenio, diba? Na nami-misconstrue.
Yeah.
Na mataray. Pero like, pagka sinabi niya, parang siya, oo nga, no? Drama queen ako doon. Delulu ako in a bad way. Tapos parang
it's normal. Normal talaga. I think, especially in our industry.
Or they make you realize how blessed you are, how capable you are.
Yeah.
That's like, girl, you gotta get out of your head. Yung ganun na, diba? Kasi minsan we're just stuck so much with our own thoughts. So it's good to have like a support system, a friend that you can voice out your insecurities with, and they will disprove it.
Definitely. And it just makes you feel so much better. Also to be heard, or your feelings to be validated, no? Because it can be a very vulnerable thing to open up about insecurities to other people who maybe aren't your safe space because you don't know how they're gonna handle that information and bring it back to you, no?
Lalo na things that are hard to admit.
Yes. So handle with care talaga.
Handle. Handle talaga. Pero yeah.
What would be so if someone has watched all of this and is still like, but Kat Nicole, I just don't feel confident in myself in general. Where can I start building that confidence? What advice do you think you could give them?
Magising ka na mas makapal mukha mo. No, really.
Yeah.
Na parang today, I dare myself to be bolder. I dare myself to be more fearless. Parang minsan if you've had a few drinks, and then you unleash that.
Liquid
na parang
confidence,
wala,
ganon.
liquid confidence. Pero don't drink at work, guys.
Yeah.
Pero yung ganong feeling lang. Yung nawala yung inhibitions nyo. Dare yourself na bawasan yung inhibitions nyo just to try. Kasi parang it's like playing a video game, di ba? Na you keep sticking to the same strategy, same formula. You see it's not working out for you. You still hear yourself saying na, I'm not confident enough. Then you're not trying out enough solutions. Diba? So parang let's change up the formula. Let's try something new today. And sometimes it only really just takes a day, one decision to change the trajectory of your life.
Tama. Like if you're still wondering what that looks like ask yourself, if I had no fear, what would I do in this situation? Or if I didn't have any nervousness, what would that look like?
Or how do I envision my best self? If I remove my insecurities, the things I'm afraid of, the things that are holding me back, what does that girl look like?
Yeah, what does she dress like? What does she, how does she interact with people around her? Like, start to really personalize it to you. So
Imagine mo, yung fantasy.
yes, subscribe to your Delulu fantasy. Why not?
Yeah.
And also, I would encourage you to take away the perception that once you reach a certain tier of success, or if you look a certain way, that all of a sudden your insecurities will fall away. Because I'm here to tell you, and so is Nicole, that the most beautiful, most followed, most praised women and people still have insecurities.
I would cheers to that.
That's true.
It's true. It's true. It comes in waves, talaga.
Yeah, but I just want to encourage everyone na parang, kasi minsan, it'll be like, if only I had nice skin, if only I was in that position at work, if only I were prettier, taller, more achieved, then I wouldn't feel so unconfident, or I wouldn't have insecurities. But it's just simply not true. Like, it's an illusion.
And I think confidence is happiness.
For me, it's really an energy. Kasi more than what you look like, the way that you make people feel, the way that you feel inward towards yourself, I feel speaks so much volume rather than the perception of what you look like.
Yeah.
And it's what people will remember. They won't look back to an interaction and be like, oh yeah, Nicole had beautiful skin that day.
And that she was wearing these brands.
Yeah, but it'll be more like, wow, we had so much fun together, or we had that moment where she really validated what I was saying and I felt so seen by her. Like, those things are memorable and impactful. And when you bring it down to it, it's not, she looked a certain way, but it's how she made me feel. It's what I took away from that interaction. And that's what lasts for people. So I think just to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Pero going back to my point na confidence is happiness, na-realize ko lang in this moment na happiness kasi is so unconditional eh. Like you were saying na hindi mo na kailangan hintayin na abutin na may ganitong kang criteria. When you're happy where you are, the confidence will really radiate, and you will be able to project it. And happiness, to be able to be happy, you need to surround yourself with good people. Sometimes maybe you're in a relationship where your partner is not encouraging.
Yeah, or constantly pointing out your flaws.
So check your people. Check the people you surround yourself with.
Definitely.
So we've shared with you guys our insecurities and in some instances, how we have taken hold of those insecurities and changed the narrative of that, took control of that, took control of deciding to make our inner world a more beautiful world.
And
I got the inner world from you.
Yeah, because it's so important. The narrative that you subscribe to or the language that you use towards yourself, it really matters. It holds so much weight because your voice, your inner world is something you cannot escape from. You can't leave the room. You can leave the room where toxic people are, but if the toxicity is in your brain or your inner voice, you can't escape that. So it's really, and that being said, it's not as easy as just like, okay, I'm not gonna think like that. But it's in the gaining of experience, looking back on your past experiences, maybe being like, where's the lesson in that? Opening up to your close friends, your inner circle, and maybe voicing out those fears and those insecurities, and maybe they encourage you through it. Maybe they even make you feel like, alam mo, ako din, pero this is what I do for it. And maybe that'll give you a certain way that you can improve upon that, or be better in it, or just feel seen and validated. Sometimes it really allows you to be like, okay, that's valid. Now I can start trying to process that within myself. But do the work, guys, in kind of cultivating that positive space. And that's what Nicole was touching on with finding happiness is also a very elusive thought. But it doesn't need to be this big, profound thing. It can just be the choices of your
Contentment.
Yeah. And that comes from gratitude, seeing the blessings you have around you.
So perspective talaga.
And when you feel ready and you want to see what your life looks like without limits, subscribe to that Delulu fantasy and live your life like you would without any fear. And see what happens. Just see what happens.
Should print that on a shirt. Our merch coming soon. Charot!
Why not?
Hi, merch!
I want a hoodie.
Ang init sa Pinas, eh.
Pero may aircon naman tayo and gets ko na why people who do podcasts wear loungewear kasi gusto ko talaga upo na ganito.
Yeah. Oh, guys, if you are going through an erosion of confidence right now, the smallest step that you can take, I think, is to believe in the good words that are coming your way. Like, just believe it instead of denying it. Like,
this is a choice,
what if you believed it today? Diba? Kung may nagsabi sa'yo na, uy, yung ganda mo. Instead of saying na parang, ay, hindi nga, eh, may ganito nga ako, may ganyan. Paano kung tinanggap mo lang?
Yeah.
Tapos paunti-unti na parang embrace mo at makita mo na rin for yourself na, oo nga, and then you relish in that. You relish in the wonderful version of you which you already are. But you do not see it yet sometimes. But we hope that you see it tomorrow. The moment you wake up. Before you put on your makeup.
Feeling ko kailangan natin ng curated playlist ng lahat ng binanggit ng kanta sa mga episodes. 2 steps back playlist. Ganun.
Yep.
But very, very true words. Well, thank you guys for sitting during this episode with us. We didn't really know where it was going to end up, but I think it was a really wonderful conversation for sure.
No sure thing about it, but I like writing through the whole experience, and I feel like I never really said those yung comments out loud. But I would just read it, diba? So now I feel more liberated actually. Because it's me carry tayo ng shame in a way in admitting it. Now we get those comments and maybe there's a slice of truth in it. But we are breaking free from those comments. I know you're itchy to sing it, Danica. We're soaring, flying. I had to say it. She had to sing it.
Yes. Diba? Playlist coming soon talaga. Yep. But until next time, guys, comment below what topics that you want to hear from us. Thank you so much for spending time. And don't forget, if you want any updates of what we're doing, what we're talking about, yung mga kulit moments din, follow us on our social media channels. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and a Facebook community page, all at 2 Steps Back.
Yeah, and we're super active there. Kami mismo ni Kat yung nagpo-post doon, nagre-reply. So,
yeah, we'll see you there and see you soon. And for the meantime, guys, take that step. Be fearless. Be bold. Bye!
bye!